Ding, 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 ding. We're going to put two of the biggest cruise lines in the world against each other. Norwegian Cruise Line and MSC Cruise Line.
Ahoy there, cruisers. We're Cruise with Ben and David.
Okay, let's break down the show into different sections and score each cruise line for each section. So we're going to either pick MSC or Norwegian.
So rounds.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at things like entertainment, activities, dining, and the ships themselves. And of course, finally, value for money.
So let's start with round one, the ships.
Ding, 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 ding.
Let's kick off looking at Norwegian first. So Norwegian have a fleet of 17 ships and MSC have a fleet of 18 ships. Overall, MSC ships are slightly newer than Norwegian's, but that's going to change at each time, isn't it? Because they're all getting new ships all the time.
Exactly. Both companies have a mix of older ships and newer ships filled with water parks and cutting edge features. Both companies are really suited well towards families with great kids clubs and facilities for cruisers of all ages.
Some things that we love about Norwegian are the waterfront on the newer ships. It's such a great outdoor space, we really do love it out there. And we love how fun Norwegian ships are too. There is so much to do on board with so many lounges and bars.
Some things about MSC we love are how glitzy and glamorous these ships are. They really are beautiful, especially the newer ones. We also love the Galleria on the MSC Meraviglia class of ships, so Meraviglia, Bellissima, Grandiosa and Virtuoso. And we much prefer this class over the MSC Seaside class, which we did find a little bit difficult to get around compared to the Meraviglia.
Yeah, oh god, your Italian's getting quite good, Ben.
I know, right? Oh la la. It's French.
Both lines are pushing the boundaries of cruising. For example, the beautiful observation lounge and features such as the go-karts and the amazing VR arenas on NCL, and then the Cirque du Soleil and the impressive water parks on MSC. That Cirque du Soleil is a really good show. But a lot of these extras come at an extra price on both cruise lines, so you are spending a lot more on board to use these features.
So one of the biggest differences on these lines are the fellow cruisers. They're going to be completely different. With Norwegian, it's going to be mostly English-speaking crowd, with the majority being American, British, Canadian, Australian, that sort of thing. MSC is completely different, and the majority of cruisers will be from Europe and not speak English. This is why MSC repeat all announcements, which can get annoying, guys, up to 5 different languages. It takes ages. Unfortunately, we found that some nationalities could be quite rude. So should we vote, David?
Let's vote.
Let's do it. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
What do we pick?
Norwegian! Yes, I think because of the big language, I know it sounds really petty, guys, but it's a big part of the holiday.
I do really like MSC ships. I think that's a
MSC
real
ships
good
are spectacular,
feature.
yeah.
Particularly, like you said, the Meraviglia class. But I just really like the waterfront on Norwegian and all the different bars and lounges.
Definitely, I think it's the bars and lounges that get me. There's so many on Norwegian.
But definitely a close round for the first round for this one, just to say it is a really close round.
So let's start with round 2, shall we? Ding, ding, ding. So next up, who do we think has the best cabins on board? We feel definitely that Norwegian is much better for solo travellers, as it has that dedicated solo area and solo lounge. Both ships have a great suite area as well. On Norwegian, it's called the Haven, and on MSC, the Yacht Club. These are quite similar. Both are really similar with private lounges, private restaurant, and private pool area. But MSC is usually considerably cheaper for the suite area compared to the Haven area.
Yeah.
There's also a big array of cabins across all classes, from inside to multi-room suites. We really loved the cabins, especially on the newer MSC ships. They're really big and they have everything you need. Should we vote?
Yes.
I think this is going to be an easy one for me. Oh, I just dropped me paper, guys. 3, 2, 1. Has to be MSC.
MSC? Did you put MSC as well?
Yeah, it has to be. Some of the cabins on Norwegian are a little bit weird, especially the ones on the Epic with the curvy walls and the glass showers.
Yeah, and I find that the cabins on Norwegian can be a little bit cramped at times.
The thing is, they vary massively. I think a normal balcony cabin on MSC is about the same size, minus the bathroom, of a mini suite on Norwegian.
Yes, definitely. Okay, round 3.
Ding, ding, dong.
Ding dong. So now we're going to take a look at the entertainment on both these cruise lines. So first up, Norwegian. They feature full-length Broadway shows such as Rock of Ages, Kinky Boots, Jersey Boys and Million Dollar Quartet, as well as a couple of original productions as well. But because of the language barrier on MSC, you'll rarely find dialogue-heavy shows or comedy shows like you'll find on NCL. There's more trivia and game shows on Norwegian as well, plus plenty of live music around the ships on both the lines. You do tend to find more dance classes as well on MSC and stuff that doesn't involve talking or interaction like that way.
There's also several paid shows on both lines as well, such as the dinner shows on Norwegian and Cirque du Soleil on MSC. They cost about the same. We've been lucky enough to see Cirque on MSC, and it's been really fantastic. It really makes up for some of the iffy entertainment that we've seen on MSC. Maybe some of the shows have been a little bit questionable, to say the least, haven't they?
Yeah, I think definitely the shows...
I think it finds it hard to stand up to some of Norwegian's entertainment, probably.
Definitely in the main theatres, the Norwegian does really stand out for
yes,
this.
Definitely. And especially the fact you have comedians and things on board as well, which doesn't really happen on MSC. 3, 2, 1... Yay, Norwegian. It has to be Norwegian.
Yeah.
They have some of the best entertainment at sea, guys. I think not many cruise lines would beat Norwegian, to be honest.
Yeah, and the shows in the main theatre just don't compare.
No, the shows were quite poor on MSC because they're mainly just a jukebox collection of songs with some questionable outfits as well.
Yeah, it was very repetitive, wasn't
it? We actually found it quite hilarious, some of the shows, because they're just so funny.
Yeah, and then beyond the main
Random
theatre...
opera.
Beyond the main theatre as well, there's not much going on around the ship.
Not entertainment-wise.
But Cirque du Soleil is great, so if you do get to try it, definitely go and see that.
Amazing. And there's 2 shows on each ship, and they're all unique to that ship as well around the world, so it's definitely a fantastic thing.
So, talking about Beyond the Main Theatre, the next round is activities.
Ooh.
So let's start with MSC. So on board the ship, you're going to find water slides and aqua parks on the newer ships, and plenty of pools, hot tubs, and other features such as a ropes course. On the newer Norwegian ships, you'll find go-karts, climbing walls, water slides, laser tags, ropes courses, as well as mini golf. Both lines have some great outdoor and indoor parties, as well as glow parties and white dress parties. MSC tend to be partying later into the evening, and music and the parties go on into the small hours of the morning. Trust us, guys, the Italians know how to throw a party.
The parties didn't even start till midnight. It was so late, so it was too late for us.
That's definitely one of the things I've noticed, that everything seems to be a lot later on MSC. The dining, the parties, things like that.
Yeah, it's a European thing, isn't it, I think? So yeah, so both ships have extra charge activities as well, such as the bowling simulators and VR rides on both lines. Have a vote. Ready?
Oh, sorry, I'm
ready. This is a tough
one.
3, 2, 1.
Bing!
Oh, it's a draw.
It's a tie for that one.
It's a tie.
So why did you choose Norwegian over MSC?
I just really love all of the activities on board, especially the things like the water slides and especially the go-karts as well. They are super fantastic. There is an extra charge, but they're so much fun. I just don't know. There's something about Norwegian ships that I really love.
Oh, really?
Why did you choose MSC?
Well, I think the water parks are better.
There's going to be an argument, guys.
It's going to be a Barney.
There's going to be a Rambo versus that other person in films.
A Barney McGrew.
Rambo. It's not Rambo, isn't it? Rocky.
Rocky versus
Rocky
who?
versus.
But who did he verse?
That Russian guy.
Anyway.
Let's call him Hans.
Yeah, I think...
Or Ludwig.
Yeah, again, I do think they are very, very similar in terms of what's on board. But I think I like the water parks on MSC, and I just think they're slightly better.
Honestly, it's so tight, guys. Next, let's look at the dining on both cruise lines. First up is MSC. And as this is a European line, you're going to expect to find less American offerings and more pasta, pizza, cold plates, things like that. Norwegian is the complete opposite, offering a much more American fare and what we think much more variation. As far as buffet goes, there is still much more on offer on Norwegian ships. There's quite a slim picking sometimes on MSC. It's always pizza, pasta, and just a few dishes. On Norwegian, you've got loads of different stations as well as themed nights.
Moving on to main dining rooms, we found that on Norwegian, the main dining rooms tend to be much better than on MSC.
Definitely.
Same as well goes with specialty dining. Although we have had a couple of good meals on MSC, Norwegian just tends to be much better. 9 out of 10 times, it's much better on Norwegian overall, I think.
So yeah, both lines offer both traditional and more flexible dining as well, and reservations are going to be required for specialty dining on both cruise ships. So should we vote? I think this is a really easy one, guys. I don't think this is going to surprise you. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, Norwegian.
No surprises.
No
there.
surprises. We know that MSC gets a lot of flack for their food, and to be honest, they do need to improve it, don't they?
Yeah.
They really do, especially on cruisings in the Caribbean and where they're trying to attract a more American and English audience. We found that some of the food is just really poor. It's really hit and miss.
It is. It's hit and miss. That's the problem.
If you like pizza and pasta, you're going to absolutely love it. But things are not piping hot because that's not the way in Mediterranean. So you've got to understand this is a Mediterranean cruise line. So now the final round: which cruise line has better value for money? Let's start with Norwegian. Upfront prices are usually considerably higher than MSC. A cruise package basically includes your accommodation, complimentary dining in the main restaurants, buffet and quick service restaurants, but they usually offer the free at sea option where you can pick 2 or 3 perks, such as the ultimate drinks package or ultimate dining packages, Wi-Fi, shore excursions, things like that, and it's really good value for money. All entertainment except dinner shows are also included on the price, but you do need to pay for things like we mentioned, like the go-karts and VR games.
MSC have some of the cheapest cruise fares available, offering outstanding value for money, especially on the newer ships. Again, it includes all the things that Norwegian Cruises do, and you can also add on a drinks package or a dining package at the fraction of a price compared to Norwegian. They are much cheaper. Again, most of the entertainment in MSC is included, apart from shows like Cirque du Soleil, as well as the ziplining, well as the ziplining, VR games, and things like that are all extra.
Right, let's vote.
Oh, right, so value.
This is an easy one for me as well, just because they are so cheap.
Yeah, definitely.
MSC. Seriously, guys, if you want a budget, MSC are great. You might not get as good food, but most everything is almost quite similar, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I mean, like we said, them ships are beautiful. The Meraviglia class are really nice ships.
Yeah, we really think that on MSC, especially the newer ships, they are offering such fantastic value for money. As we said, the food might not be as good, but the ships are lovely.
So what's the scores on the doors, Ben?
So overall, Norwegian wins! Yay! But genuinely, guys, we do love both. They are completely different to each other. Norwegian is suited to those who love food, especially American-style food, and an English-speaking crowd. And MSC still offers some great value and a more diverse crowd with those long, really annoying 5 different languages. The thing about the 5 languages thing is that it's not short and concise. So it's not. It's usually like a 5-minute speech because they just say everything in 5, and it goes on for like, I think we counted it over an hour
really
once.
Bothers you, doesn't it?
But it's an hour of people like shouting over the tannoy. So we were in the VR. We were playing on the F1 simulator, and it went on for an hour and 10 minutes.
When they were doing the change of course.
Oh my God! It just never stopped. So that's it for this episode. Let us know in what you think about in the comments section below. We try to remain as impartial as possible. Obviously, we have our own views, and we understand that everybody thinks differently. So let us know in the comments what you think.
Yeah, definitely. This is just our opinion, so don't take this as gospel, as they say. Please consider subscribing to us too. We've got so much fab content coming up on the way, and you don't want to miss out, do you? So you can hit that notification bell as well.
Yeah. You can also support us on Patreon. This allows us to create even more content, and we have some fantastic perks. So please check it out in the description section below. That's it till next time.
Happy cruising. Oh, I've got a joke.
Do you? What's your joke, dude?
I just made it up off the top of my head.
He's got a joke, guys. Let's see what this is. What is it?
What did the NCL ship say to the MSC ship?
I beat you,
No, I didn't.
What?
It called it a ho.
Oh my God, guys.